Here's a game. Something independent. Okay. Let's see. How about the French defense? Okay. So far, normal moves. Is he thinking of something? Oh, the advanced variation. Okay. One of the normal moves. And I just play simply against the advanced variation, pile up pressure on the d-pawn. And play queen to b6 and bishop to d7 here. And grab the pawn if I get a chance. Knight here to here sometimes. So, okay, sometimes I play this trick with bishop to d3 and he can't take right away because of a check. But he's not playing any tricks. He's just doing normal stuff. So let's develop the knight. But this is not as good a square for the bishop. That's why they do this bishop d3 check trick. It's a better square. So now I can take the pawn and play knight to f5 and I'll have 3 pieces attacking it. I'll have to bring the bishop out to defend it. And that can be good. So let's do that. So I'm expecting bishop to e3 here. And I'm not necessarily going to take that bishop. It's just I'll have that option. I'll probably play bishop to e7 and castle, unless there's something else going on. There's no other way to defend that pawn, and I think black or white should hold on to that pawn. It's a useful one. It's a center pawn. And taking the bishop on e3 is double-edged because it opens up the f-file, which is sometimes a weakness here in the French defense. Not so easy to come over and defend it. If he doesn't play that move, play some other move, I can take, he takes, I'll take back with the queen so that the bishop isn't a pin. If I keep taking with the knight, then bishop e3 pins the knight against the queen, and sometimes that's winning back or winning a piece. It's taking a long time with this move. Although I like that better than the players that don't think at all. That always causes trouble for me. They move so quickly that I don't have time to think. But well, that's a little too slow. So he's giving up the pawn. Is he going to play bishop to b7? Maybe. Okay, I will take. I'll take. And then, like I said, I want to take back with the queen, because if I take with the knight, he has bishop to e3 here, and that pin, I think it actually wins the piece. Here, I'm hitting the rook in the corner. How does he defend that? He probably has to trade queens. Bishop here, I take it. Knight here, I take it. And the rook can't move. Yeah, I think he has to trade queens here. So an opening success for the French defense. The advanced variation from white here is not, it's not a bad opening line, but you do have to play it carefully. You can have a quick disaster in the center if you don't play it right. So when I'm white, I don't play that line. I usually play a win hour. Also, the Tarrasch is a fine line if you want to avoid some of these complications, the complicated 1 hour. So let's see, what are the problems here? The check is not a problem because the knight is covering that square. My problem is that this is kind of a loose piece here. But if he's not bringing pressure on immediately, then I don't see the big deal. Let's see, let's develop the bishop. I might want to bring the knight back to c6 so I can play bishop to d5. Might be useful. And I don't have to be in such a hurry to castle here, do I? I mean, I just have this extra pawn. This bishop is a problem piece. Maybe I should do something about that. And his knight. Ooh, that was a mistake. Potentially, I mean, he's got this rook skewer. That's what I saw here. So I have to vacate the knight immediately because he's going to play the pawn forward, and then I have to move the bishop. So where does the knight go? I guess it goes back over to the king side. Yeah, it was a close call. I was thinking for a while that the bishop and the knight were both undefended and that skewer would just win a piece. Okay, so now he's defending this pawn well. I'm playing a5 here to stop him from pushing his pawn forward and harassing my bishop, and also to allow me to play bishop to a6 here and trade off his light squared bishop. And my light squared bishop, which is the one that's trapped inside the pawn chain, that's my bad bishop, so I'm happy to trade it, even if it leaves my rook in an awkward spot for a move or two. I don't think he has any good tricks with this bishop. He can defend it and then I'll take, or he can take and displace my rook. So it's probably, well, this has its advantages too. I was going to say it's probably better for him to take and displace my rook, but this exchange develops his rook, so there's something to be said for that. So let's castle so I can connect my rooks. And that's interesting. Does he want to trade here? Go for some kind of end game. Bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, then he attacks it. I bring my rook over. He can push the pawn forward. I'll take. I think this is still okay for me. And if he doesn't take it, I will double my rooks. But I don't know why he was in a hurry to trade off that dark squared bishop. Maybe because it was the bad bishop, but in general he should keep pieces on and try and make the game complicated, because he's down in material here. So now it's just an end game where I'm a pawn up, and we have pretty much identical material otherwise. Yeah, knight. So he can attack that pawn. That's what I was expecting, but I can push the pawn forward. Okay, what's the best way to do it? A knight on this square or on this square would be good. How about start with this move, knight here, and then I'm going to play f6. And if he takes, I'll take back with a pawn. With the point of supporting my knight coming to e5, and then I'll have this big group of pawns in the center that should be worth something. Although it's not the middle game anymore, maybe that's not such a great idea. Maybe I should play a little more slowly and just bring my king into the center. Okay, let's start with this move. And I don't think he can get much closer. These pawns can't be approached, really. And yeah, I can come in with my king. I can play Okay, so he's going over to the queen side. So let me step in here. King to e6 is what I'm thinking of next to support all these pawns. And okay, he's going to push his pawn forward to harass my knight. Let's see. Where do I want the knight to go? Maybe I'll just move my king here anyway and let him push that pawn forward. Knight will reroute around this way. Okay, so he's taken care of that square. Let's see, if I go here, is this okay? Can I bring my knight to c6 and then to b4 maybe? Can also chase his knight away, but it might go somewhere better. Could go to, yeah, it could have gone, you know, if I push this pawn forward, his knight could make the journey to f5, which might be annoying. Okay, so if I wanted to control that c4 square, I need a knight where my king is. Or where this pawn is. Okay, let's go here. Knight c6 to e5. Controlling c4. That's kind of creating a weakness for me. I am still going to do this, however. Yeah, so his knight is getting into f4 with check. Yes, endgame requires some trickiness. So I'm threatening to take his g-pawn too. Maybe that's the bigger threat. So his rook came over there. So now I'm going to push the c-pawn forward. And I get my rook into the game more actively. He goes for the check. So if I am not careful, I might lose this pawn, which is important to me. But maybe I get this pawn instead. The b pawn, the g pawn is still hanging, and the a pawn is hanging. But he can attack my d pawn here, which would be kind of annoying. Okay, I'm taking that, and if he grabs this pawn with his knight, I have this check. Let's see. Well, let's think about it. He can block the check. No, I will win the. I'll win the rook at least. I mean, I'll win the exchange at least. If he blocks with the rook, I take with the knight. He's in check, so he has no time to deliver a check to me. Let's see. Okay, he just moved his king. I was complicating some line like rook there, knight takes, and the knight here check. But I don't think that works. I still am just a piece up at the end of all of that. Okay, so let's put the rook back there, take advantage of my extra piece. Hey, I won that game. He resigned. So good game. I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later. Bye.